Margaret loved being a librarian, but it could be awfully dreary at times. It was a slow Saturday afternoon at Green Meadows Library, with hardly a patron in sight. Being in the center of a major city, she figured there were a plethora of places people would rather entertain themselves with than a library. She almost envied those who seemed to be too busy for everything. The only thing Margaret had going on in her life was a flower garden and an ever-growing collection of books. Most of her friends already had boyfriends, so her lack of a significant other only served to emphasize the mundanity of her life. She tried not to let it get to her. Her life was boring, but there wasn't any need to dwell on it. With a cup of hot chocolate in one hand and a book in the other, Margaret idly passed the time until she heard a loud thud from the library center. She got up from her desk to see what it was. Everyone else had already left, so she should have been the only one there. She walked down the hall and saw a large black book laying on the floor. The front and back were completely blank, and there was no ISBN number in sight. Intrigued, Margaret picked up the book and returned to the desk. She flipped open the first page to find handwritten notes. Today I met a goddess. She surrounds herself in a labyrinth of ancient tomes to feed her endless thirst of knowledge. More than any book, I want to know the contents of her heart. Now Margaret was really interested. It looked like someone had left behind their journal. She normally wasn't one to pry into others' business, but some wholesome voyeurism could potentially spice up her life. With each page, the writer went into more detail about their love for their crush. A beauty robed in a cloak of shadow. Her hair, a caramel river. Lips that speak of her vermilion passion. Could her perfection be any more grand? That passage made Margaret pause. The description of black clothes, brown hair, and red lipstick sounded a lot like her. Still, it was vague enough that it could apply to any woman, so she didn't give it too much thought. She took a sip of her chocolate and read on. I know the goddess will never grace me, so I can only admire her from afar. Sometimes she trades her black robes for floral ones, perhaps in homage of the garden she looks over. A duo of felines accompany her as she imbues her garden with the seeds of her love. Margaret froze. The writer didn't just know her appearance, but also her gardening hobby and 2 pet cats. This wasn't something she could just pass off as coincidence. A morbid curiosity compelled her to read even more. Picnics in the park, buying a new bike, a trip to a cafe while wearing a pink cardigan. Several of her routines were laid bare within the book with stark detail. The writer knew her favorite foods, her local supermarket, the brand of soap she used, and even the exact time of her last bath. The last passage Margaret read was enough to make her blood turn to ice. Today, I finally steeled the nerves to make the goddess notice me. I crafted a love elixir to win her heart. It will take the form of her favorite drink. With luck on my side, I added the elixir to her chocolate while she relieved herself in the bathroom. I can see her drinking from her lipstick-stained cup even now. Oh, Margaret, I cannot wait for you to be mine. A stabbing pain that gripped Margaret's heart sent her tumbling to the floor. Her thoughts became erratic, and her field of vision diminished by the second. The last thing she saw before losing consciousness was a shadowy man towering over her, his Cheshire grin being the only discernible feature.
Hello, my goddess. Are you ready to consummate our love?
Hey guys and ladies, thanks for watching. Links to all my shit are down in the description. What a lovely story. That sounds really romantic. That's what you want when you're with someone, is for them to be fucking dead or passed out. Man, it's been a minute, huh? I'll be happy to hear from you guys. But we're going to wrap it up. So, be good to animals, even people. So,